Well, I absolutely love hunting with the small coil, and in this episode, I think you'll see why. Well, I opened up my email last week and I found some really great pictures there waiting on me, and I just had to share them with you. Now, these come from a subscriber in Illinois, and they're of her daughter wearing her favorite Finding America t-shirt. And just a little advance warning, these pictures are just way too cute. Well, thank you so much for sending me those pictures. They were really awesome. Now, if you'd like to send me a picture of yourself in your favorite Finding America shirt, or even using your Finding America drop cloth, you can do so by just emailing me at findingamerica01@gmail.com, and I'll be more than happy to put them in a future episode. Well, we've had so many great finds coming out of that park that we featured in the past couple of episodes that Chris and I just had to go back there. And I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to test the 6-inch coil on the Minelab Equinox 800 that Kellico sent me. Well, some of you may be wondering, why in the world would you want to use such a tiny coil? Well, using a small coil allows you to get right in between those trash and iron targets and find the good targets that are laying down beneath them. Now, those good targets are usually missed when you're using a larger coil. And the key to success when using a small coil is sweeping very slow, keeping that coil on the ground, and having a lot of patience. So in this video, it's going to be straight up metal detecting video. I'm going to show you every single good item that I pulled out of the ground with that 6-inch coil. So I hope you enjoy this hunt, and I think you'll be impressed by just how much you can find using a small coil. Well, next thing was giving me a 24 to 26, but only in one direction. And I went ahead and dug it, and after I dug it I realized why I was only getting in one direction. Yeah, I got a nice little silver ring, but it's been smashed, and that's pretty cool. Very small, thin silver ring. Equinox did an awesome job separating and picking that up because it was in between a lot of garbage. So I'll get that all straightened out, but that's a nice little ring. Well, got a nice target here, man. It was way down there too, and I had to chip it out 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. And I finally got it out, and I didn't see anything. I was starting to spray it. I called Chris over because I could start to see some words.
Yeah, they're showing through.
And we'll give the camera to Chris here.
Let's see.
You can see it as I wipe this off. Let's see what it says.
That looks early.
Yeah, it does look old. It's starting to come through, isn't it? Can you make it out?
I can't tell.
Alright.
Huh.
Well, we're going to clean it up a little bit more, and we'll be right back. Well, we kept cleaning on it. It is very worn, but very old. But Chris is able to make it out. It says the Pennington, and it says manufactured by... what did it say here?
Pennington Gas and Generator Company.
Yeah, and here it says Morristown, Tennessee.
There's writing on the bottom, but I can't make that out.
This part or that part?
Right in here,
yeah.
right there.
Yeah, I don't know. But that's pretty cool. I'm going to have to look it up. I wonder what that was.
That is a nice border on it.
Yeah, it has a real fancy border all the way around. Pretty cool nameplate. Must have been some type of big generator.
Yeah.
But I'm going to guess it is probably from the 20s or 30s. I don't know, it could be a little earlier.
Yeah.
Very cool piece. And that's a heck of a cool find.
That's neat.
So Chris also found something, so let's go check out his hole, because I think he found something pretty cool right when I dug this out. Alright, so now we're over here by Chris's hole, and well, I see it's a coin.
It looks like it's just a nickel.
Ah.
But then...
Ooh, yeah, I see.
Yeah, she's coming through. It's a Warnick, 43.
Nice. Little silver war nickel.
See
Love digging those.
That's an S too. Cool.
Ooh, San Francisco.
Neat.
Nice. Yeah, we don't get S's too often over here.
No, that traveled a long ways.
Well, very cool, man. That's and we found that almost the same time.
Yeah, I turned around. You're like, hey.
I said, Chris, I got something good. He goes, I do too. I said, okay. Well, this one was a bit of a shock. It was give me a 27 to 29, nice high tone. Was not deep, 2 inches down. This is not the first time we've hunted here.
No.
it's just weird how you miss something, but look what is sitting there in the dirt that I just scraped out. I got myself a silver. We're both on the board.
Yeah, it's not too far apart either.
It's a dime. Oh, it's a rosy. Well, cool. I can rub this one.
I'm calling 52.
Oh my gosh, it's a baby.
Is it?
It's 64.
Ah, it counts.
It counts. Yes, sir. I like that.
Get on some coins today, man.
Well, I don't know how I missed this one, but I didn't miss it this time. Oh. Yeah, we're over in the field next to the park, and Chris got something. What'd you get now?
Looks like a 20 weedy.
Ah, cool.
Nice green coming through. I just scratched off the date there.
Yep.
There's still stuff popping.
Nice old find. Then this part of the area I'm hunting right now, we didn't get to hunt it very hard because it was just infested with biting ants. So we're kind of going over it, and you won't believe what I just got. Ring it up at a 13-14 and check out what's in that hole. You might recall a few videos ago, I found my very first iron after all these years of hunting. And 2 weeks later, I have my second iron. And check it out. It is pretty awesome. A little flat iron. So, I waited a long time to get my first and only a couple weeks to get my second.
Look at that slice of pizza.
Yeah, I tell you, man. That's pretty cool. It kind of looks like the battleship on Monopoly.
Yeah, oh, that's thin.
Yeah. So that's cool. I have one more from my massive collection of 2 irons. I'm just going real slow with that 6-inch coil. Got a nice 15 signal. Dug down and it popped out just like that. That's pretty cool. Old garter clip. Yeah, pretty shiny. And let's see what the other side looks like. It does have some design on it. That's pretty cool. I'll get it cleaned up and I'll give you a better look at it. That's a nice little find. Well, some of you may be wondering, how slow should I be swinging my coil? Well, as a general rule of thumb, I like to leave 4 to 5 seconds between the start of my swing and the end of my swing. Now, this may seem like really slow, but you want to give as much time as possible for your metal detector to separate and process the signals. And on top of that, you want to give your ears as much time as possible to process and separate the signals too. Now, this is where the patience part comes in when using a small coil. But I think, as you're going to see with the next find, it definitely pays off. Well, I just made an excellent find. Called Chris over here. I'll tell you, even with the small coil, it was tough to. I knew there was a good number in there, but it would not hit on it very well. There's so much stuff in the hole besides all those fire-breathing ants. Chris ran over with his 11-inch coil, and it was all over the place, like -5 and 16. So I dug down and out popped a coin. I was like so surprised. Let me see if I can get it without bringing a couple ants with me.
They're protecting it.
Yeah, but check it out. Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to be. You can see the headdress. I got an Indian head penny. That's my second one out of here.
Yeah.
And I'll get a toothpick, but I'll tell you what, these little 6-inch coils are killer because there's so much more stuff in this hole. It almost completely masks this thing, even from that little coil. And I don't think we would have had any chance of finding it with the big coil. So I'll get it cleaned up and give you a look at it, and we'll see what year it is. Well, this is a another big iron piece. It's my day of iron. And I don't mind because I love digging big iron. And this one's no exception. It's big. And it was ringing in at 13. And I knew it was a big signal, so I had a pretty good idea I was going to find something iron. And I had to clear out a bunch of brick, and I finally got it down there. And check it out. I don't know if it's a pickaxe, but I think I finally got it to where oh, that's really cool.
Oh, wow.
Still had a little bit of the wood in it. Definitely has some age to that. Let me stretch out so you can see it all.
That's cool.
That's a pretty neat little relic. Now Chris is not too far away from where I got that Indian. What'd you get, man?
A little 16 weedy. Looks like Lincoln's got a chunk on his head, but
well.
nice color. And look at that spot on the back. It's like it never...
Yeah, that's weird.
It's different.
Well, that's good. I like those early Wheaties.
Coins are getting older.
That's good.
Yep.
Well, I tell you, there's another thing that's nice about this small coil too, and the Equinox, is it punches deep for such a small coil. And you're looking at it probably about close to 8 inches down, and I finally broke it loose. But I got a very old piece of harmonica reed. Let me get that N off of it. And real nice green patina, but nice old item. Now another tip while you're using a small search coil is to set your recovery speed as high as you possibly can, as long as your detector allows for such an adjustment. Now during this hunt, I had my Equinox 800 set at 7 for the recovery speed. And what this does, it enables the detector to process and separate the signals extremely fast. And this increases my chances of hearing those good conductive targets in between the trash signals. Well, that little 6-inch coil strikes again. I've been working through a bunch of junk here, and I got a little bit of a squeaker. It wasn't real high. It was just good enough to dig. And dug down, and I saw the edge. Let's see if I can show it to you here. You see that edge right there? Yeah, I got a silver dime. Can't believe it. Oh, it's a Rosie. Got 2 Rosies today. We'll take that. And a war nickel so far. So, not too shabby. Let's see what this one's going to be. This looks like a 1952. All right. Well, next target was ringing 1314. Dug down and got a nice little piece of an iron horseshoe, and that thing is worn pretty thin. I left that one on for a while. Very cool little find. Well, this signal was really kind of low. It was ringing about a 8 or 9, and dug down, and all I could see was this. But check it out. That's pretty cool. That's a very old looking pair of scissors right there. That's awesome. Probably from these turn of the century houses. That's just a great looking relic. Glad to have that one. Well, got a pretty nice sounding signal. Pulled a couple nails out. It's ringing about 15, 16, and I got a very cool early 1900s razor handle, shaving razor. It's a really nice one. So I always like digging these. I have some razor heads, and I'm always looking for some cool handles to mate up with them. So that's pretty cool. Well, I tell you guys, as they say sometimes about movies, you couldn't write this script. This was a really iffy signal, very iffy, but I dig it all, and once again, I am so glad that I dig it all. You will not believe, I bet you if I said, go ahead and guess, I'll give you 3 seconds of what I found. I don't think you could figure it out. I'm just going to pan over to it. I flipped the plug, and this is how it popped out of the hole. Can you believe it? Another iron. My 3rd one, but not just any iron. Look at the size of this iron. Look how small it is. It does have writing on it. You can see right here, it kind of goes around. So I'm going to soak this in apple cider vinegar, and don't mind the big old truck with no mufflers going by. But check that out. I mean, it's maybe 3 inches, 4, and I'm thinking either it's a specialized iron, it could be a child's iron, or it could be a salesman sample. But now I have 3 irons in my massive collection, and they're all different sizes. Isn't that awesome? I can't wait to see what this says. Hopefully I'll be able to read it. But that is just unbelievable. Yep, dig it all. You never know what's going to come out of that hole. Well, I have to say the combination of that Equinox 800 and the Minelab 6-inch coil, it was just phenomenal. It was just an amazing setup. That coil picked the good targets out like a laser beam, and it got incredible depth for such a small coil too. Now, all this information easily pertains to any other kind of metal detector, whether you use a Minelab, a Fisher, a White's, a Garrett, doesn't matter. You might want to really seriously consider getting a small coil. So I am putting links down in the video description to the equipment we use in this video, but I'm also putting a link down there too to the search coil section of the Kellyco website, so you can check out and see what kind of small coils are available for your metal detector. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, but don't go away just yet. I've got some amazing historical photos of our great country coming up in just a few seconds. And as always, remember, history makes that find a treasure, and I can't wait to see you back here next week on Finding America.